Program Talk Sport right here in Nigerian's capital city. I told you that I have the men and women who have one objective, which is to catch them young in the country. I'm talking about a football club or a football academy in Nigeria's capital city. Greenlock FC management are in the studio of Global TV. Let's start with Mr. Peter. When we say Greenlock, what exactly are we looking at, and why is it green?
Okay, so when we're looking at Greenlock, we're looking at the development and the growth of a new system that no one has seen before. One thing I like to say is that when you're developing or growing a tree, you have to start from the roots. And the reason why it's green is because we obviously want to portray our richness and more glory and wealth and success that comes in our near future.
So where do you spend your time in green? Is it in football, in basketball, in tennis? What exactly is green doing in Abuja?
The green Abuja, obviously, like our national flag, green, white, green. It just obviously shows our pride that we have for the country, as well as knowing that whenever you win the badge, you're not only representing the Greenlock FC, but as well as everyone standing behind you, including your country.
Okay, let's talk to the man who is in charge. You are the coordinating officer of the Greenlock. Tell us, how has it been?
Well, it's been wonderful, and like I said earlier, that Greenlock is just barely 6 weeks ago, and it's been wonderful. We are the talk of town, and our first tournament was in Kano, and they can see the great talents in the program there in Kano. It's been wonderful, and it's something that you know, the society, we're just looking at that, who are these Greenlock? Who are these Greenlock? And what we are telling the society is that we want to catch them young and produce them to the national. That is why you're talking about the Greenlock that my EVC is talking about. We want to make sure that we change the narration of football in the country, and that is who we are, and that is how it has been. And that is why we are Greenlock.
6 weeks into the business. How green is the pitch? Tell us, how many players do you have now for your camp?
We have about 35 players, but we've cut them down throughout training and trials. We've cut them down to about 28 players right now.
Yeah.
Now, we are talking about, when you say green, how do you get these players? Do you pick them already made players, or you pick them right from the grass and to take them to the next level?
No. Yes, we need to hunt for players.
Okay. Yeah.
We hunt for great talents. You know, I don't need to, you don't need to convince me that you are a footballer. When you are on the pitch of play, we will know who you are. And once you are there, the way you handle the football on its own, we will know that, yes, this one, we can have it. So we definitely go into the villages. We go into the nook and crannies of the country to get them. Young talent. The age is not more than 19, the highest you can have in our camp. That is it. So it's not about somebody playing somewhere before. No.
Okay, I understand you have a camp. He talked about a camp. You have a camp in Abuja. Tell us exactly the kind of players you have at the camp.
Listen, when we talk about players, we have the best of the best. Obviously, to play at the level we are expecting or we are striving to be, you can't just be an average player. In order to move to the next level, you have to have something special about you, whether that be passing, dribbling, skills, vision, and you need to harness that power into making something you can use to your advantage. And by having each individual in our team have that ability, we have an ultimate team.
Yeah.
What part of the city is your camp, and a little bit about the choice of your location?
Well, we are in Buhari. We found Buhari to be one of the best environments where we can have a football base, our camp. We set our camp in Buhari because if you look at the serene of Buhari for football, is well organized when it comes to football, and the seriousness, the business of football as well, because there is nothing like distraction in Buhari, and that is one of the things that we'll look at to make sure that we'll send the boys, take the boys out of the metropolis and take them to a place where they can be serious, more serious to do the business.
To do the business, let's see if we have the chairman of Greenlock joining us live this morning on the program Global TV right here in Nigeria's capital city. Good morning to you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Peter. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Monitor. How are you this morning?
We are fine and we are cool. Let's go straight. I understand you have succeeded in putting together an entire team called the Greenlock. Tell us a little bit about this initiative and what does the future looks like for Nigerian young footballers?
Well, thank you for having me. Let me say good morning to everybody and say, by virtue of the grace, I think Mr. Funshaw Peters initiated the whole thing about Greenlock, and somehow it looks like we all have the comfort in embracing what he did, what he was doing, and we're supporting him. And somehow along the line, I'm privileged to be nominated by the management, the team, to chair the process, and I'm doing the best I can. But in terms of the future of the youth football and Greenlock, we're here to add value. It's not about our personal interest. While the team will be done with a lot of value for the young ones, the Greenlock is also out there to see how it can develop a lot of this talent for international standard football. And I think it will go a long way to add value in a different way than how football has been managed in the country.
The issue of catching the young has always been a major challenge. What steps are you employing to ensure that these young players have a conducive environment to commence the career they so much love in future? Because starting at the grassroots is quite difficult.
Yes, I know that. We have put together a different perspective. We're not out here to say Greenlock must be the best at this point. Our focus is just to develop the youths, and we could see them coming around to Greenlock. We've seen a lot of the young ones showing exceptional interest in participating in what Greenlock is doing. But our goal is not just to engage them, but to develop them. And I think with that attitude, we're likely to really get the best out of them and be able to, some of them will be picked up by international football, and you'll see in few years down the line, a lot of our boys will be playing international soccer games. They'll probably be also engaged in most of the local games. We're also passionate about how we can use, some of them can be developed for local, international, national games. So we're catching them right now from the age of 16 to 20, I believe. And the gentleman with you there, Mr. Oladunjoye and Mr. Funshaw Peters, are doing a great job. That's all I know. And I'm hoping that they will continue in that space.
The question we have for you is that now that you've succeeded in getting these few players, you talk about helping them for overseas and so on. What about the primary assignment, which is education? Are you combining school and the beautiful girl training?
Yes, the principle, the policy of Greenlock is not to just have them play. They have we provide educational support for any of the young ones who is really willing to work hard and develop himself. The policy itself is already there, and I don't think we're in doubt that the principle of development is not just about developing soccer. We go beyond just education in school, develop their attitude, their skill, and you know, football is about attitude. If your attitude and your education is not about just getting a degree, it's also about expanding your wisdom and understanding of the world, you're likely to be a successful football player and a leader. Sports brings about leadership in people, and that's one of the other things we focus on, that you must understand that you are playing soccer, you are playing football, not to just be on the field, but also develop the principle of leadership in yourself around what you do. That is will spread the tentacle of each individual player, and of course, we hope that 20 years down the line, some of these boys would reference and connect with Greenlock in ways that it has never been in Nigeria, particularly when you now. We hope that in the future, things that will happen would probably amaze you, because we are getting support from beyond the shores of this country. We're connecting with, we have a network that is growing, and we hope we'll continue to do that in a way that the boys too would develop the understanding of the world of football, not just playing at Buhari, but to play locally, internationally, and also embrace the community where they play, where their base is structured at. Yeah.
I want to say a very big thank you for having time to join us on the program this morning, giving us insight on the development and the progress so far with FC Good Luck right here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Your last question, I understand you are putting up a tournament. What exactly will you be expecting at the end of the tournament? Is there prize money, or these are players that will move into the next level? What level will they be?
Let me quickly say, I as a chairman, leadership is about following your team. I follow the management. I support what they do. The objective is to ensure that these boys are located by international football worldwide. They will be identified. They will be looked. Some of them will be sought for in the future. What we're also developing is to expose them to the world. When that is done in this particular trial that is going on, we hope that some of them in the next 2-3 years will be developed. The objective is to develop them over the next 2-3 years to become, to be attracted, to be looked for, to be sought for by international football players, football clubs, but more importantly, to strengthen the foundation of Greenlock. And I think we're doing that at this moment. But I'm sure the gentleman with you will also talk more about that as you go along.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say a very big thank you to you and the entire team of the Greenlock FC right here in Nigeria's capital city. Let's take a break. When we come back, he said the gentleman in the studio, we will continue the discussion, taking a look at what contribution Greenlock has for Nigeria and for Africa, catching them young program in Abuja. This is Talk Sport on Global TV. Let's take a break. When we come more, we'll be looking at other aspects that will make you a good luck footballer. Don't go away.
See the Global TV.
Glad to have you back on the program. It's Talk Sport coming away from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. And it's a special dedication to talking about the Greenlock FC right here in Nigeria's capital city, a team that has the objective of molding, nurturing, and of course bringing out the players from the streets to prepare them as professional players. We just had a discussion speaking with the chairman of the club, but right here in the studio, I have the chief coordinating executive here with me, as well as the vice chairman. Executive chairman, let me find out from you, at the end of the day, what do we expect to get from the tournament that's coming up next year? We're talking about 2 weeks' time or so.
Well, the tournament is titled Showcasing. It's not just a tournament. You know, when you want to do a tournament, you have presentation of trophies for the player. Yeah. But beyond that, we are showcasing to the world at large that, look, we have what it takes in Nigeria to make the football system, to change it, to change the narration.
What is that? What is
and,
that?
And that showcasing is that these boys, we want the world at large to see them. That these boys, this raw talent that we brought from nowhere as something to the world. And by showcasing them to the world, definitely they are going to be picked by the international community of footballers. And that is what we have for them. Because what we have on ground is a market already.
Now, let's find out. Every player's desire is to make it as a professional player. When you discover these players, as a rightly said, what are the chain of development that these players find themselves at the end of the day?
When coming to Greenlock, what I'll say is that once you're identified as a player, you need to understand that there's a lot that goes into football. You could be the best player in the world, you could do everything right and still not make it. So understanding little things like how to train in the weight room, out the weight room, different tactics, how to listen, how to react to certain situations comes to the big picture when it comes to the game. And what Greenlock does is that not only do we teach you the basics and what could make you better play in the long run as well as your best version of yourself, we also teach you how to react and how to play the cards right in certain situations in order to give yourself the best opportunity and open yourself more doors in the long run.
And getting these players, we are combining foreign football and African football. What's the difference that you are putting into our own kind of football in Africa?
Okay, thank you for that. What I'd like to add to that is that we're going to be able to add a various amount of different form of football. Not only the fact that you travel to Nigeria, you travel to Brazil, you travel to Croatia, they have different styles of football. With that being said, having different scouts coming over, being able to watch these players and select which players could fit into their program, gives these players the opportunity to now learn different styles of football in the long run, as well as to also become the best elite version of themselves to play in the highest level.
Chief Coordinator, I hope you are aware of the school's football competition which has been introduced by the government. Yeah. Players from your academy, from your team, can they be able to compete favorably with others out of your camp?
Yes,
very Can they fly Nigeria flag as we speak?
Yes, we are very sure about that.
You can boast of 12 good players?
100%. I want to tell you that you will come to the tournament and see what we are talking about. Let me just cite an example. We were in Kano, and all the players are fantastic. And looking at them, physically, you know that these are young boys. These are young talents. But while we were sitting with the heavy officials discussing, they kept asking, who is that boy? What's his name? Who is this? What's his name? But we have one among them. His name is Peter.
Peter.
Fantastic.
They're telling everybody, yes, Peter.
No. Fantastic footballer. The guy is wonderful. Young boy.
How old is Peter?
Peter is just crossing to his 17. Okay. Just finished his work. And we are supporting all of them academically, not just to come. And we are building them, developing them character-wise as well. not just to come and play football or show your talent, your skill on it. We are developing them in every aspect and what it takes for them to become who they want to become in the world.
Football is now a big industry.
Yes.
Bring out journalists, bring out all parts of sectors. What technique are you putting beyond the normal skill that these kids have to make them professional tomorrow?
That's a great question. One thing I want to put aside is that when in Nigeria we have different teams, players are just taught the game inside the four lines of the field. We take the extra initiative to also teach these players what goes on out of the field. The media interactions, knowing how to make their own highlight tapes with high quality recording, because from my experiences, no coach is going to watch a highlight tape if it's not the right quality. And I see a lot of players sending their videos just on a shaking, is doing this, is doing that. No, we also set a standard and teach these kids to work into that standard in order to succeed in the football world, internationally and locally.
Succeeding in the football world, a team of professionals are in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, under the name FC Green Lock, and they have one duty, which is to catch them young and prepare them to represent Nigeria and Africa. Now, away from that, let's go straight to the African Cup of Nations. Your dear country, Nigeria, will be going in for their 4th World Cup victory. You think the Super Eagles has quality players like those in your camp?
Yes, they do. This is Nigeria, you know, and I'm a full-fledged Nigerian, and I give my support to Nigeria. And I believe that we are bringing the trophy here once again into the country. So just leave the other aspect of it. We will get it.
You'll be watching Africa, and Nigeria will be in action. Which of the countries in Africa you think has the potential of winning the African Cup of Nations as a football businessman?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Are you sure Nigeria?
Without a doubt.
Nigeria.
We have the best talents, the best swim structure. We have no excuses.
Okay, no excuses. Let's come back here. There will be no excuses even from the Green Lock who are in Nigeria's capital city. Now, let's look at your focus. Are you just within Abuja environs, or you intend to go across the entire country? And do you have a limit of a number of players you are looking for?
You know, we cross across the whole entire nation, not just only in Abuja here. For instance, we have players from Kano. We have from everywhere in the country. We have our scouters positioned already that what we need, we don't need a player that belongs to a particular club so that we will not have that problem. So what we need is just look at those boys that you know that they are very good, they have the skill, and bring them to us. So we cut across the whole nation, and we have our network all over the nations as well.
You want to add to that?
Yes. To add to that, we also want to understand that if we're not looking towards expanding, we've already filled the project already. One thing I want to say is that we're looking into not only just in Nigeria, but having players from different parts of Africa.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. Doesn't matter who you are. If you can kick the ball, you can play. If you have the skill and the passion, determination, Green Lock is where you're meant to be.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at what does it take a player to find his way to the Green Lock FC right here in Nigeria's capital city, and perhaps we'll be having the media officer of the Green Lock FC, our own Pius Ideko, will be coming on board. Let's take a break. When we come back, there'll be more on the program Talk Sport right here on Global TV, Nigeria's capital city. Please don't go away. Glad to have you on the program TalkSport right here on Global TV. If you're just joining us, it's a special dedication as part of our own contribution to development of football in Nigerian capital city and across the entire Africa continent. With me here in the studio are executives of Greenlock Football Academy right here in Nigeria's capital city. I have the vice chairman of the team also in the studio. Once again, welcome to the program.
Thank you again. Thank you for having me.
We are also being joined in the studio, our own in-house, a professional sport analyst, Pius Idoko. He is the media officer of the Greenlock FC right here in Nigeria's capital city. Pius, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on Global TV.
Okay, Pius, let's go straight with business. The Greenlock has been a team that since inception in Nigeria's capital city, it has been able to spread its wing across the country. From your own point of view, if you want to score Greenhorn, what percentage will you give them now in terms of their areas of calling?
Okay, judging from how we've started
Yes.
and up until where we are right now, I will say Greenlock FC, I will give Greenlock 90%. Why did I say that? Why did I say 90%? I'm saying 90% because I've been in Nigeria, you know, for a period of time, for a long time now I've been in Nigeria, and I've seen how other clubs operate in the country. The way Greenlock FC started off, I have not seen any other club. When I said no other club, I make bold to tell you that even MPFL clubs.
How did they start? Tell us. How did
they started strongly.
How? How strong
They started. The structure of Greenlock FC is actually, there is no club that can compare with the structure as it were right now. And then I can also tell you that they have everything for the players that are in camp. They have the best treatments for the players, taking care of them. Their welfare is a priority. In fact, their welfare is a top priority to the management of the team. And any player that dons the Greenlock jersey can come out boldly to tell you that they are happy. We were in Kano,
Yes.
and I interacted with virtually all the players. And they said, how do you compare? How do you make comparison between Greenlock and where you are coming from?
What were you doing in Kano?
I was there to as the image maker of the team.
What was Greenlock doing in Kano?
Greenlock FC was there to take part in its maiden appearance in a major competition,
So
which is the NLO Cup Competition 2023. And
Tell
Greenlock
us
FC.
about the scoreboard.
Okay, so we started off
Yes.
against all odds. Greenlock were able to defy the odds because nobody actually gave us the chance to excel. They said, how can a team that was formed barely 5 weeks ago, what can they do? What can they achieve? We got to Kano, and it will against, like I said, against all odds, it beats my imagination that we're able to beat the first team, NA Royals. Even when we're trailing, we came back and won that game convincingly. The second game against an indigenous team, a second team that is well supported. You know how Kano fans are. Yeah. When you talk about support in Nigeria,
Yes.
leave it for Kano fans. And now, aside Kano Pillars, we have Kwankwasia FC. Is the most supported club after Kano Pillars.
Fantastic boys.
Greenlock FC outplayed and outclassed Kwankwasia FC in every department of the game. And I can tell you that if it's just that we didn't take most of our chances, we would have scored a half dozen goals. It goes to show you how lethal our strikers are, how good our players are. And then in the third game, we went into that game. So in the group stages, we won all 3 games, 9 points. I mean, it was a fantastic result. We got to the semi-finals, and because, of course, you know that sometimes fatigue can also set in, so we lost in the semi-finals. And then we played the third place. We eventually emerged as the third best team in the tournament. And, of course, what does that tell you? It goes to tell you that this team is here to stay. Greenlock FC has come to change the recruitment game. It's here to revolutionize the recruitment game, and that is exactly what we've done. For a team that just started barely 5 weeks ago to come out third in their first appearance in the major competition, I mean, kudos to the management of Greenlock.
What exactly are you doing that other teams are not doing in the country?
Okay.
So can learn from you.
Yeah, for now, like I said, it's a new club. We just started, And I can tell you for now that some of the things that we have has actually given us an edge. Most recently, we have one of the most, when it comes to technology,
Yes.
we have one of the most, the most recent technology in our camp right now, and which is the VO. And I have not seen any club in Nigeria that owns a VO camera that captures actions and everything that happens on the pitch of play. I mean, just go and check it. Maybe a few, but I don't think any MPFL, I've not seen any MPFL club with a VO camera, but at Greenlock, we have it. So, I mean, what more can you say about Greenlock? Because it's a team that is ready to excel. And like the EVC rightly said, the Greenlock FC is not just, it's not going to be a stroll in the park for any player. You just know how to kick you must know how to kick the ball. And it's not restricted to Nigerians alone. Anybody from any part of the continent can actually be a part of the Greenlock FC so long as you are good enough and you have the talent to play.
So when can the Abuja fans have the opportunity of seeing some of these quality players? When can you bring them together for people to have a view of them?
Well, coming soon in January 5th, the first Premier Soccer Football Showcase will be coming into play. We would have international scouts come from different parts of the country, coming over to watch these players, put everything they have on the field. And with that said, we are on NLO Live, VO at Greenlock FC Live, as well as a number of other broadcasting news channels that will be coming on the way.
And if it goes well, then Global TV will also be there live. Before we go, Pius, last shot for the Greenlock FC.
Yeah, I just want to use this opportunity to, call on every Nigerian. For anyone that wants to excel, that wants their career to flourish, I can tell you for a fact that Greenlock FC is the next destination for any good player in Nigeria. And we have a showcase event coming up. Nigerians should come out in their numbers to come and watch the showcase. Like the EVC have said, a lot of scouts are coming in from every part of the country, and it's going to, like it said, it's titled Showcase. It is indeed a showcase. Players will be there.
Is there gate fee?
That will be discussed much later.
In order to, there's no gate fee, but in order to get some free merch as well as some other perks.
Okay, let me ask you a question. For parents who are listening and footballers who are listening now, and they want to be part of this, how can they do?
In order to be part of Greenlock, I believe just like any other team in the world, like any other high-level team in the world, don't hesitate to make highlight videos, send emails, be persistent, keep working hard, keep training.
Morning and evening, yes. Okay, so they can equally come to our office. We have our head office in Maitama. Of course, they can come there, and they can also find their way to Buhari when when the team files out for their regular training routines. They can actually, contact the coach and indicate interest that I'm a player. This is what I can offer the club. The coach will obviously give them the opportunity to show themselves. If they are good enough, yes, indeed, of course, they'll definitely will be part of the Greenlock team.
The program Talk Sports on Global TV, Nigerian's capital city. It's a special program dedicated as our own part of contribution to the development of footballers in the country. I need to say special thank you to the media officer Pius Idoku for being part of this, and to say a big thank you to what you are doing contributing to the development of football in the country. Thank you very much, Pius.
Thank you very
much. And
I
also want to say a very big thank you to my very good friend, the Executive Vice Chairman of Greenlock FC, Mr. Olufoshon Peters. We want to say a very big thank you to you.
Big thank you for having me.
Not forgetting my own very big friend, is Kof, the Chief Coordinating Executive of Greenlock FC, Mr. Olayinka Oladunju is here in the studio. A very big thank you. And of course, the chairman who joined us live on Zoom, giving us insight and of course the development of the Greenlock FC. Until we come your way again for another interesting edition of the program Talk Sport right here on Global TV, we'll be bringing to you bits on seconds of the African Cup of Nations, which will kick off in faraway Africa. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. And next week, you should be in Buari, I guess.
Definitely.
For how long is that going to be?
A 4 days event, 5 days.
5 days event. At what time of the day can they come?
It starts in the morning from 8 a.m. Till evening. There.
All right, so if you want to catch the best of football, catch them young. Buari is the venue. And go there. I'm told that the gate fee for now is free. And just helping to bring them up. That's the size. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I am Clinton Agbo saying thank you very much for your time. And join us Monday for another fresh edition of the program Talk Sport on Global TV, live from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you very much.